Number 5 is something which I have invested in previously. The next items are luxury sneakers or trainers, and if I was going to buy some luxury footwear, it would be trainers. These, for example, are the Mulberry and Axel Arigato trainers. They are quite hefty, and I think they were released back in 2023. But these ones, because I wanted a new pair of white trainers, I decided to opt for these very durable and very stylish version of an Air Force One. But as you can see, it has the mulberry buckle at the front, and it has the colourful lining, and it's just leather throughout, and it has the hard wearing sole. These were actually relatively quote unquote affordable for luxury trainers. I think these were just under £370. Designer trainers usually range from £700 to £1,200, which I think is a little bit extortionate, such as the Balenciaga Triple S or the Dior B22s or Chanel trainers, which usually are priced now at 850 upwards, which I think is absolutely extortionate compared to the quality of those with these, because these you could wear them in a marathon if you wanted to, and at the finish line I don't think the soles would have worn away, because these are just the most top quality trainers that I think I've purchased. The trends change very quickly and the quality is not always great. The premium non-designer brands usually rival something like this. The quality is a little bit questionable. Usually they resell for about 40 to 60% of the retail price at best, unless you haven't worn them, and then they can obviously either retain their value or, you know, they can appreciate in value. Logo tight and socks are coming in at number 6, and this is something which I have previously have purchased, but because these are obviously, you know, tights, they are obviously most likely to ladder, rip or snag, and then as soon as there's a ladder in it, and then obviously, you know, it isn't something that you would really want to be wearing unless you want to look like a ruffian. So they snag easily and wear out very quickly, and often seen as just flashy and impractical. And if anyone said that to me as a criticism, I wouldn't disagree with them, because they are very impractical, but they are fucking flashy. So number 7 are Monogram Scarves and shawls, such as the Louis Vuitton Logomania scarves, which were very in trend at one point when they were released. But then you also have the Gucci Logomania shawls, and I've got my own iteration of that, which is the Balenciaga Gucci silk scarf, which I bought for the 2022 hacker project, which I obviously had to get a piece from that particular collection. However, these retail at a quite a hefty price, from £400 to £800 to maybe £900. These are easily counterfeited and they do pill very easily. This one happens to be quite good quality, and I've worn this day in day out and through many seasons, and I do absolutely love it. It does look like as if it is counterfeit, but I don't really care if anybody actually thinks that it is fake or not, because I know where I bought it from and I know what collection it's from. You can always find them really easily on the resale market, and the value drops very quickly. But as I said, this was something that I wanted to purchase for myself and something that I wanted to have as a memento from that collection. Statement belts such as the Gucci Gigi Belmont belt buckle that you see everywhere, the Hermes H and the Versace Medusa belt buckles that you can see ubiquitously on a London high street. These retail from £450 to £1,200, which again is a little bit extortionate. So they are overexposed and they're very trend sensitive, but if you buy something which is quite classic or in a classic colour such as black or cream, white, rose or beige, then that is something that you would be able to use year in, year out. And this is something which I am a little bit of a sucker for, and those are designer sunglasses. These retail anywhere from £100 to upwards of possibly £2,000 at a push, but usually £250 to £600. These are often mass marketed and mass produced by factories such as Luxottica, and the resale value is negligible unless you haven't worn them. You'll be able to sell them at the price that you have bought them for. And this shawl is going to be making an appearance again. In at number 10 is limited edition collaborations. And this is something which I am sometimes a little bit of a sucker for, because when you know it's going to be a limited edition collaboration, you know there are only going to be a select number of pieces which are going to be added in that particular release. And in that particular release, you know that whatever you are going to get is going to be something that's not going to be replicated again. So for instance, recently Louis Vuitton had collaborated with Yayoi Kusama. You've also had the Gucci Balenciaga Hacker project, which was released in 2022. You had the Fendi Versace collaboration, which are obviously was drawn in a hook, line and sinker. You had the Tiffany and Supreme collaboration, Tiffany with Nike. Adidas collaborated with Balenciaga, but the thing is with these limited edition luxury collaborations is that usually they are overhyped for 5 minutes and then easily forgotten. They rarely appreciate unless ultra limited edition and preserved. So for instance, you did have the Jimmy Choo and the Timberland collaboration. Number 11 are statement heels or statement boots, such as the Balenciaga knife boots or the YSL Opium boots and heels. These retail from anywhere between £900 to £1,500. These are very difficult to wear and extremely niche. We have trend-based mini bags and other kind of nonsensical tiny little bags. So these retail from anywhere from £400 to over £1,000, and they're tiny and impractical, but damn do they serve a look. These are great for aesthetics, but not really great for functionality. These are not great for functionality or for practicality. And I just had to move my camera a little bit because the glare on the screen was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm sure it doesn't look great on camera. Okay, and there was one more other thing that I wanted to show you. And this kind of inspired the idea behind this video in the first place. Because I, for whatever reason, decided to buy 2 bottles of exactly the same perfume. I wasn't stocking up. I had actually forgotten that I had bought these. These retail anywhere from £50 upwards to possibly £300 or maybe £400. It could be quite an expensive thing to buy. There's beautiful packaging obviously, but the markup is mostly just the branding. This can be replaced very easily or even better with other high-end non-luxury brands which will have the same fragrance that you would want to get. So the final message of this video before you viewers get blinded by this glare is luxury isn't just about what you spend it on, it's about how smart you are when you are gonna part with your hard-earned cash. What you want to look out for is something that is possibly pre-loved, something that is timeless, and something that doesn't really fall for the hype. Okay, there we go. There we go. Honestly, I think that glare was getting a little bit ridiculous, but thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.